to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Can't stop us. Can't stop us. Can't stop us.
Well, there is a dark cloud over the stadium. It just moved in, and it's going to move out. But there is a 50% chance of rain while this thing is hovering overhead. But a beautiful day. It is a bit windy, and Mel will talk about that a little bit later on. We've had the flip of the coin. The Saints have won. They've deferred to the second half. The Titans will receive. This is the extra opponent game under the new 17-game schedule, in which every NFL team plays an extra game in a conference against a team of a similar schedule and ranking a year ago. With the kickoff return, it's Marcus Johnson finding his way out to about the 21-yard line. At the bottom of the pile, he saw a couple with a return of 27. Dwayne Washington, the running back, makes the stop here. And that takes us to Ryan Tannehill, who was out of Friday practice here for the Titans.
Yeah, he was under the weather. They gave him a COVID test and sent him home. Once he cleared the COVID test, they just didn't want him, if he was contagious, they didn't want him to get anybody else on the team six, but he is back and under center and leading this Titans offense.
First and 10. Empty backfield for Tannehill, and outside he goes. Big hit there by Caden Ellis. The catch made by Jeff Swaim. Had a nice touchdown reception last week. It's a gain of about 5. And the offensive line, they get Luan and Davis back today.
How about that, Kevin? They get their whole starting offensive line after, this season or last week is specifically missing a couple of those guys. That's going to be an important piece when you consider they've only given up 7 sacks in the last 4 games.
So Deontay Foreman opened up as the running back. 2nd down and 7 with the spot. Adrian Peterson with the block by Swaim and stuck in there, hit by Jordan, gain of a yard, put him at the 35. This defense, number 1, as you said, against the run in the NFL.
Well, and you got to love the guys up front. They just, their ability to get into the backfield, we saw on that play on 2nd down, getting penetration to get back and not let the running backs get started, and they're going to have to do that as we all know about Adrian Peterson and what he's like after contact.
That defense on the ground of the Saints last week held Atlanta to 34 yards on the ground. 3rd down, long 5. McNichols in the backfield. Whoop. Tight end move, and that was Anthony Ferkser.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Now 3rd and 10, Trent.
Not a good way to get started. You just see the movement here. Easy call as Tannehill tried getting an easy first down with the hard count. I know how that is. You're telling everybody, listen, I'm going to go hard count. I want to try and get the first down with the hard count. And then your guys jump offside. And that's frustrating because now it sets up 3rd and long.
Make it 3rd and 11 for Tannehill. Up the middle they come, and across the middle they go with the block. And a drop. A.J. Brown had it on a shallow cross. It would have been a long way to get the first. They had to get to the 41. Coverage on the play by Bradley Roby. And it's 3 and out for Tennessee on the first possession.
Well, Tannehill has to get rid of the ball. Alexander comes free up the middle. It's getting a clean shot, and that's a ball Brown has to catch. It's a little bit behind him, but that's a ball you have to catch. He wouldn't have picked up the first down.
Deontay Harris is back for Brett Kern's punt. And it flutters. It's not very long. It didn't last in the air very long. And the Saints are going to get it. As you can see, the move to the 33-yard line. And that sets things up after that 37-yard punt for quarterback Trevor Siemian, who was a Titan and then became a Saint all in last year's season.
Well, getting an opportunity now to start with the injury, season-ending injury to Jameis Winston. This is a great opportunity for Trevor Siemian, making just the 3rd start in the last 4 years, but a great opportunity for him to try and reestablish himself as a starting quarterback in this league.
Markham at the 34 with the 1st and 10. Ingram gets the call, and around his waist he finds Jan Brown with a gain of a yard on the play. Now it's the offense for the New Orleans Saints coming in at number 28, 31st in passing. The left side is brand new positions this week.
James Hurst moves from left guard out to left tackle, and it's a position he's played a couple of times already this season. He's a guy that can play all across the line, and Throckmorton will be moving in at the left guard spot.
Andrus Peat, the left guard, missing a 3rd straight game. Teron Armstead out with the knee and shoulder injury. 2nd down, 9. There they go, right up the middle, caught by Jawan Johnson. Inactive last week. Brought down on the play by a couple, including Jan Brown. It is a gain of 9 to the 44. The defense for the Titans, 8th against the run, 19th overall.
Kevin, we've talked about the 5-game winning streak that the Titans are on, and it's this defense that has turned it up the last 5 weeks.
Tyre Tart is out, the nose tackle, inactive. Here's a pass to Troutman, knocked out of bounds on the near side with a good hit there by Jackrabbit Jenkins, a former Saint, now Titan, gain of 8, and they'll put them at the 47-yard line of Tennessee.
And Kevin, you see how quickly Trevor Siemian is getting the ball out of his hands. This is something Mike Vrabel talked to us about. He said, listen, Siemian is a smart quarterback. He knows where we go with the football. We have to find ways to get him to hang on to the ball. But for the most part, he wants the ball out of his hands fast and not take the sack.
Montgomery is the back, 2nd and 2. And here comes Ty Montgomery, the former Packer. Rams his way into the 45 and picks up about 2. And should be good for a 1st down. Let's see where they spot it. They do, and they'll move the chains.
Well, Montgomery is a guy, as you know, he's lined up at, or his number is 88. He's listed as a wide receiver, but in his career, he's played both running back and wide receiver. It's not a stretch to see him in the backfield, and here he is once again lined up right next to Trevor Siemian.
Played for the Jets a season ago, inactive last week. As Trent said, most of the season, he's been playing receiver, 1st and 10. Up the middle they come, and who else? The road grader, Jeffrey Simmons, comes in and plows his way for a sack. He had 3 last week against Stanford in Los Angeles. They lose 8 right there. Stanford was pressured all game long, 10 times, sacked 3 last week in L.A.
Well, only rushing 4, and they're able to get pressure, as you said, Kevin. A week ago, they did a good job of that. Siemian was trying to push the ball upfield, and then as he came to his check down, just wasn't enough time to get rid of it. Excellent pressure by the Titans.
Simmons now has 6 sacks, 3rd down, 18. Siemian across the middle. They get 2nd down and 18, and caught there by Traquan Smith. And a gain of 5 on the play. Put him back at the 48-yard line on a shallow cross. They need the 35 on 3rd down coming up.
Well, and this defense has really turned it up during the 5-game win streak. They have 11 takeaways and 15 sacks, 3 defensive touchdowns, and now this sets up a 3rd and long for Siemian in this Saints offense.
Montgomery in the backfield, 3rd and 12. Blocked by Hurst. Downfield they go, and incomplete for Marquez Callaway. Jackrabbit Jenkins was down there covering. Janoris Jackrabbit Jenkins.
Well, Jackrabbit's in good position. He's to the inside. They're just trying to run an outside fade. He does a good job of getting in front and squeezing it to the sideline. Nowhere to drop the ball in there.
So Simmons gets a sack. Blake Gillikin will be punting away. With wind at about 12 miles an hour. Chester Rogers is deep back for the Titans. Well placed. Rodgers at about the 8. Fair caught there. 39-yarder. Tannehill back out there. Coming up for the Titans. Scoreless in the 1st.
Happy, so happy.
Beautiful Nissan Stadium here in Nashville with Trent Green and Melanie Collins, Kevin Harlan. One of the big themes coming in for the Titans today in the absence of running back Derrick Henry, Trent, is which running back is going to step up and be the #1 guy in his absence.
Well, and that's going to be a tall order, as we've already said. This defense for the Saints doesn't allow a lot of running yards, so I think this is going to have to be a big day for Ryan Tannehill.
Peterson back there now, 8-yard line after the punt. Tannehill, Peterson, 1st and 10, and submarines his way to the 8 with a gain of 2 and plugged right there. 2-yard gain, missing Henry, and like we said, he is the centerpiece of this offense.
He is the centerpiece, and you look at the rushing yards per game, and last week against the Rams, yes, it was a Rams defense. It's one of the best in the league, but under 200 yards of total offense, and yet they were still able to come away with a victory. A lot of that due to the defense scoring a touchdown in the field position. So Todd Downing, the offensive coordinator, doesn't have great field position for the 2nd series in a row, but needs to flip the field.
Right now, McNichols is a receiver, 2nd down and 8. And outside they go for the aforementioned McNichols. Coverage over there by linebacker Quan Alexander. 3rd down. So it's really running back by committee, right? I mean, that's really what they're doing.
Well, it definitely will be, and as we've already seen, McNichols has been in there, Foreman's been in there, Peterson's been in there. They rotate them around, and that's what you need when you lose a guy like Derrick Henry, a guy that the amount of touches and what he's done for this team since he's been in Tennessee.
McNichols is 2nd-year running back, 3rd and 8. Six in the secondary for the Saints. Tannehill, here they come. Dumps it across and reeled in right there. Ferkser got it, picks up 2, and hit by Adebo, the rookie out of Stanford, and stops him. And for a 2nd consecutive possession, the Titans will punt.
Well, we talked about the Titans and their pressure. This time the Saints, they show 5 at the line of scrimmage, only bring 4, trying to cause some confusion. Cameron Jordan is close to getting a sack and getting a hand on Ryan Tannehill, but not enough. But he did force the short play.
3-time Pro Bowler Kern to punt once again. Harris under it on the fly. Got by midfield and hit over there by Matthias Farley. Only a hang of 3-7. Scoreless, 8:08 first quarter.
Feel Max Friday.
Trent, I get missing a couple starters, but today, as we mentioned earlier, the Saints offense without 5 starters on offense.
Well, that's phenomenal. A lot has been made about the Titans and the number of starters and number of players they have on IR, but the Saints, as you said, 5 guys missing, including your starting quarterback and your #1 receiver for the season.
Montgomery was back there with a chip block on 1st and 10, and here comes the staggering Adam Troutman out of Dayton. Tight end picks up 7, wrapped up by a couple, takes it down to the 42. Nice gain on 1st down by Troutman.
Well, and the job that Sean Payton has done, speaking of those injuries, you're down your starting quarterback, your #1 receiver. Today, you're down your #1 running back. You're down your starting left tackle. I mean,
believe it?
That's,
wow.
That's tough for anybody to do, and Sean Payton's finding a way to get it done.
Michael Thomas, of course, one of those starters we're talking about, who's been out all year. Ankle surgery this summer. 2nd and 3. Ingram is in. And he gets the call. There was a good block by Eric McCoy, the center. You can see he's stacked up. And a lot of gang tackling by this defense. It is a gain of 5, led that time by Jan Brown. And he's down to about the 37.
Well, and Trevor Siemian talked to us yesterday about how they need to get some big plays. He understands as Taysom Hill's coming in the game. Siemian just went off the field, and we were told Taysom Hill was going to have a set group of plays, and there may even be more plays in that package for him this week as compared to what he did last week.
Hill had a couple passes last week. 1st and 10, Taysom Hill will take it himself with a nice block by Irma, and he's past the 30, diving to the 27. Close to a 1st down, hit on the play by Christian Fulton, who makes the stop.
Well, and Hill did miss a couple of games because of concussion, and you see there coming into the game, 81 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. He did have a couple passes last week. He's 5 of 6 on the season, but that's a good changeup for the Saints as they get down close to the 25.
You can see what he's done and where he has lined up all over the field, the ubiquitous Taysom Hill. Jenkins and Fulton are the corners today. 1st and 10. Good block by Hurst and dropped. They had 5 drops last week. Montgomery drops one right there. Flag thrown on the play. It's the 9th drop, as Jerome Boger will tell us. 9th drop by the Saints.
Illegal use of hands to the face. offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Center Eric McCoy. Did I see them just looking at Montgomery's hand when he was coming off there, Trent? Yep. Uh-oh. And that is not good, and he knows it's not good, and in the blue 10 he goes.
Yeah, seen him slam his helmet on the ground. That's not a good sign. And the fact that the doctor or trainer was hanging on to that hand with the towel.
Yeah. Ingram is in. Penalty makes it 1st and 20, back at the 37. 6 in the secondary. Here they come, and there he goes with the pass, and outside to Smith. You can see he's grabbed by a handful, including Monty Rice. Gain of 6 to New York and James Brown.
Coward and special teams.
Yeah, Zaire Franklin's going to block this punt by Indianapolis. It's going to get picked up here by E.J. Speed. He's going to ramble in from 12 yards out. Indianapolis up 10-0 over Jacksonville.
Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins.
Jacksonville coming off a win. Guys, thank you very much. 2nd down, 14 here. Scoreless game so far. Simeon, here they come. He goes down. Naquan Jones comes through. His first sack of the season. The rookie free agent from Michigan State drives him back. It's a 2nd sack for the defense, and back to the 38.
Jones is just one-on-one with Ruiz. Just watch, he gets quick little to the outside, comes to the inside, gets there. That was too easy for him.
First career sack. Ty'Air Hart, who normally starts in the middle there, out with a groin injury. Montgomery is going to the locker room. Not a good sign. 3rd and 21 for Simeon. Hurst the block at the left tackle, and downfield he goes and overshoots his intended receiver, Smith. Nice coverage across the way by Chris Jackson. Montgomery will be gone, so now they're down another running back. Jackson with the coverage there. Punting unit is back on again for the Saints.
Doing a heck of a job by the Titans defense. The Saints were down inside field goal range, down inside the 30, and then they get the hands to the face, what moves them back, and then the sack knocks them out of field goal range, and the Saints not able to connect on 3rd down to get them any closer, having to settle for a punt.
Blake Gillikin will punt. The NFC Special Teams Player of the Month of October. Deep back, Chester Rogers. Oh, beautifully played.
He had a foot in the end zone, though, Kevin.
J.T. Gray just about pulled off a beauty. It'll be to the 20 on the touchback. It's a 38-yard punt. Yep, good call, Trent. Right on the chalk.
With DraftKings Sportsbook,
follow your favorite teams.
Deep shot, touchdown!
Never miss a moment. The CBS Sports app. Download it today.
Back in Nashville, here's the play to Ty Montgomery, where the injury occurs on the throw from Simeon. Looks like just a drop. Now we know why he dropped the ball, as you see the finger.
Yeah, the finger's pointing west when it should be pointing north. Foreman in the backfield, and Foreman will take it with the back pedal. Up for a gain of about 4, and brought down on the play by David Onyemata. And if anybody resembles Derrick Henry in size and violence on the field with the way he runs, it is Deontay Foreman.
Well, and I think we've talked about it already, but I think we're going to see a heavy rotation of all 3 guys. But the Titans need to get something going. They've got 2 series. They've got 2 3-and-outs. This is actually the best field position they've had of the day.
It's 2nd down and 6 for the Tennessee Titans, and a quick slant. Here goes Marcus Johnson off to the races. Chasing him is Williams, and tackled in the secondary by Jenkins as he sprints downfield, takes it to the 27. 49-yard catch and run. You were wanting something to happen for Tennessee. You just saw it right there.
He's going to be lined up on the outside. The inside slot receiver clears out, comes underneath. Just a little pitch and catch. They catch him in man-to-man coverage, and Lattimore is not able to keep up with it because of that underneath route or rub route that comes off the slant from the inside or from the outside as the free release guy in the slot.
Only his 5th catch of the season. Foreman is in. 1st and 10. And Foreman. Nice block in there by Torrey Carter. It's a gain of 2, and head over heels is down to about the 23-yard line. And hit on the play by Granderson, who's playing with a bad shoulder. In fact, he was inactive last week for the Saints.
Well, sometimes it's just a play like that to get it going. It's just a quick little throw, right? It was only about a 3-yard throw for Tannehill, but the yards after catch to get a quarterback into rhythm, to get an offense into rhythm, getting that first down.
2nd down 8. Foreman remains. Hudson-Berry the block at the right tackle. It's Foreman across the middle. Got a nice block in there by the tight end Fritzl. And driven out of bounds across the way by Demario Davis. It's a catch and run of 9. He'll be down to the 15. It's a 1st down for Tennessee.
Foreman's lined up on the line of scrimmage, an empty backfield for Tannehill, and he just runs a drag. There's trips to the right. They clear out. He's just the underneath check down. And with the Saints dropping into coverage, Tannehill takes the easy completion and 1st down.
1st and 10. Tannehill again, this time going for the end zone and incomplete. The coverage by Roby. The pass intended for A.J. Brown. 2nd down and 10.
Well, the Titans start getting an easy one. A.J. Brown does a wheel route. They think they're going to catch him in man-to-man, which they do, but Roby doesn't fall for the out route.
Look at Mike Vrabel in his 4th year, 14 years as a player, 3 Super Bowls, Pro Bowler, All-Pro. Terrific job with the Titans. 2nd and 10. Foreman is back there. Tight end Pruitt was in motion. Well, look at him cleave his way down to the 10. A couple guys on his back with the gain of about 5 right there as he takes it deep in Saints territory.
And Kevin, this was the part of the field that really made the difference last week for the Tennessee Titans when you talk about red zone. Offensively, they were 3 for 3 in the red zone, converting all 3 possessions into touchdowns. And the Titans defense only allowed the Rams 1 touchdown in 3 possessions in the red zone. So here we have a big 3rd down.
Nick Nichols in 3rd and 5, 7th play of the drive.
Hey, check. Ready?
Oh, they're bringing a bunch. Tannehill will buy time into the end zone, and it is dropped. Dropped by McNichols. Their 3rd down running back could not snare it. It's 4th down. They'll try for 3. The defense of New Orleans holds them out of the end zone.
And the Titans going once again to a real route and out and up by McNichols and just not able to hang on to it.
Good coverage by Quan Alexander, the outside backer.
If he wasn't there to punch it out, he would have held on to that ball.
That's exactly right. So here comes Randy Bullock, who's made 7 consecutive field goals and make it 8 with a 28-yarder right there to put Tennessee on top. The big play, a 49-yard catch and run by Marcus Johnson, the receiver.
With DirecTV Stream, I can get live TV and on demand together.
Get your TV together. And by Audi and the all-new fully electric RS e-tron GT.
Saints hold the Titans out of the end zone. 28-yard field goal. Big play. Marcus Johnson running downfield after a short throw and 49 yards. The catch and run setting him up. And now the subsequent kickoff. T-Pack Deontay Harris, the #1 kickoff return man in the NFL. And we'll get a look at him here from the 5. Chased and forced out that time well. 21-yard return. Salute to Service is the NFL's year-round effort to honor, empower, and connect our nation's service members, veterans, and their families. Learn about the NFL's work with its long-standing military and veteran non-profit partners by visiting NFL.com/salute. And this weekend, the Titans did a great job of letting their fans submit photos, including our CBS crew, of their loved ones that served and placing those all around the stadium, including Susie Fisher and her son Kobe. And here's a handoff on 1st and 10, and Mark Ingram will stagger his way for 2 and knocked down by a couple, including on that line Kyle Pecco, who was elevated from the practice squad today.
Well, and after that last drive being down in field position, they're much different field position this time after Saints defense held the Titans to just a field goal, trying to get something going.
Ingram is the back and gets the call. When they're trying to block away, they were opening up room. It's a gain of 1. He gets to the 29, and that's about it. Ruiz was in there trying to knock people astride. At the end of 1, the Titans by 3 on CBS.
This crazy suit gonna give me an edge?
Oh, yeah. Huge edge.
First quarter numbers in the books through 15 minutes of football. 2 sacks, 1 by Simmons. Saints attempt the 3rd fewest passes of any team, yet they pass more today than they've run. Here's a 3rd and 6, and they're going to the air again. They're going deep. Oh, they've got Harris. What a catch! Brought down by Jackson, or attempted to, and then he staggers ahead to the 25. It's a 46-yard completion to Deontay Harris on a good throw by Simeon, and they beat Jackson.
What an incredible catch by Harris, as that ball was a little too far out in front, but he was able to lunge and get it. Simeon talked to us about needing some big plays. It's hard to methodically drive the ball down the field against this Titans defense, and that time a fingertip catch.
What a throw, too, huh?
He's aware enough to jump up and get a couple extra yards.
1st and 10. And a tackle made by Jayan Brown and the running back Mark Ingram, the Heisman Trophy winner, who takes it for a gain of 6 and down to the 18.
We talked about this game going to be a smash mouth, physical type of game, and if you look at, we saw the first quarter stats. You know, really the only big play for the Titans was that 50-yard completion to Marcus Johnson. Now all of a sudden Harris has a 46-yard completion. So other than those 2 big plays that have gotten their teams into field goal or into field position, it's been a battle throughout.
Mark Ingram, by the way, 4 yards away, and he's in motion out of the backfield for becoming the Saints' all-time leading rusher. Here comes Hill. Runs outside, has the first. Knocked out of bounds by Jackrabbit Jenkins on that 2nd down, and he picks up 8 on the play and a first down. We talked to Sean Payton yesterday. He said they got a variety of packages in there for Taysom Hill.
Well, and it's just going to continue to increase. As we said, missed a couple games because of a concussion. Last week he had a set number of plays. This week I think that package is going to be expanded, as we've already seen him a couple times today.
Running back is Ingram. 1st and 10 for Simeon at the 11. The blocks, throw, touchdown. They got Traquan Smith. An 11-yard touchdown pass by Saints quarterback Trevor Simeon. And New Orleans has taken the lead.
Traquan Smith, he comes in and he acts like he's going to block off of the play fake. Watch as he comes in. He looks like he's going to come in and hit the linebacker, but then he peels to the outside. Watch the play fake back here. So that's what draws the coverage inside. Excellent job by Traquan Smith, selling that he's going to block and then bursting out of it in an accurate throw by Simeon.
8th reception of the season. He beats Jackrabbit Jenkins, and the kick is no good. A miss right there by Brian Johnson. And they have really had some issues at kicker, which we'll talk about a little bit later. This beauty to Harris, right on the screws by Simeon. And he finishes off well with his 11-yard toss to Traquan Smith.
There's no better feeling than a win, except to BetMGM.
Well, we've seen some fireworks early. That was a 46-yard pass to number 11 there, who played at Division II Assumption, Deontay Harris. He was activated earlier this season. He's the #1 kick returner, as we talked about. Here's the ensuing kickoff, and it'll be taken by Marcus Johnson. He had the other big play, and that was a 49-yard catch and run for Tennessee a bit earlier, setting up a field goal. 21-yard return tonight. You're invited to the concert of a lifetime with Adele, including an exclusive interview with Oprah Winfrey. Adele, one night only. Tonight on CBS. I know you'll be watching that as we were walking down Broadway a couple days ago. What a wonderful city. The skyscraper, it changes, doesn't it? The landscape of this downtown changes every time we come here. They build new hotels and restaurants. It is an unbelievable place. We're glad we're here. 1st and 10. Good play action by Tannehill. He'll dump it off and caught by the tight end. On the fly, Swain. Upended on the play by Pete Werner, who's a good-looking rookie out of Ohio State. It's a catch and run at 17. Also Lattimore in there. It's a first down to the 40. Make it the 39.
You can see the double tight ends to the right, and the play fake is to the right. So you get everybody flowing that way, thinking it's going to be a run in that direction. Then you drag the tight ends across. Excellent play concept and a first down for the Titans.
So again, just finishing up that scoring drive by the Saints. The 4th missed extra point by a Saints kicker this year. Johnson missing that last one. That's his 2nd miss. 1st and 10. Foreman wrapped up and hailed on the play by Onyemata, the 6th-year player out of Manitoba. It's a gain of 4 to the 43, Trent.
Well, in that time, they bring in an extra offensive lineman, Aaron Brewer, and he plays the tight end role. So you think, once again, everything's going to be loaded to the right. And then they run opposite, able to pick up 4 yards. So trying to cause some confusion. This defense is so good against the run. You've got to try and create some different looks for them to throw them off a little bit.
2nd down 6. It's Foreman back there. Jones LeBlanc at the center, and here he goes downfield. Caught! Another nice grab by Johnson, brought down by Lattimore. It's a 17-yard tumbling catch to the 40-yard line.
Johnson's on the backside, and he's just clearing underneath. A.J. Brown is on the front side running a deep corner, so 2 defenders go with him. And Johnson's able to get into the open window on that side of the field.
Marcus Johnson, a former Eagle and Colt. 1st and 10. Carter is the fullback. And Foreman the call. And a block by Nate Davis and right into the oncoming defender, Demario Davis, and a loss of a yard. Back to the Hall of Fame coach, Bill Cowher, with James Brown.
Detroit. Yeah, Jamar Jefferson's going to take this run 28 yards and tie up Pittsburgh 7-7. Detroit looking for their first win of the season.
Back to Kevin.
28-yard sprint. Boy, it's going to be tough for Dan Campbell on his first year with the Lions, Trent.
That has been a tough task for them, and tough for Demario Davis. We went to New York for a highlight right when he just shot through the line and was able to make a tackle in the backfield. Excellent read on his part and execution to get the tackle.
Indeed, 2nd down 11. They come from the side, and Tannehill downfield. Big hit there by Williams. They were going for the 2-time 1,000-yard receiver, A.J. Brown, and he is down. They had Roby back there along with Marcus Williams, and they both are putting their eye on number 11. A.J. Brown, who had 5 catches against the Rams last week. They lost, of course, Corey Davis in the offseason, and the tight end, Jonnu Smith. Others stepping in their place. 3rd and 11. McNichols back there, blocked by Luan, and the quick cross and a first down. Westbrook Aquina makes the catch. Undrafted player out of Indiana. Picks up, we think, about 11. Let's see where they spot the ball. Looks to be perhaps just shy of the 30.
The Saints bring double blitz off the strong side. 2 secondary players come off the slot. He hits the backside slant, 4th and short.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 and 4.
Gets him the first.
5-yard penalty. First down.
One of the things that the Saints were trying to work on today, drops and avoiding penalties. They've had a drop, and they were just penalized.
Well, and by Tennessee hurrying up to the line of scrimmage, it caught the Saints with 12 guys on the field. to pick up the easy first down.
They had 10 penalties last week, the Saints did, in that thrilling game against Atlanta, which they eventually lost.
What an incredible comeback by them in the fourth quarter, but then to have it fall through their fingers at the end.
Foreman is in. 1st and 10. Jones the block at the center. Nice throw, dropped on the play. There's a drop by Jeff Swaim, the former Cowboy, Jaguar, 7th round pick by Dallas. 9-10 here, second quarter. Mel, what do you have?
Kevin, 2 injuries to update you guys on. Titans outside linebacker Bud Dupree suffered an abdominal strain in the first quarter. He has been ruled out, will not return to this game. And Saints Ty Montgomery, who we've seen at receiver and halfback today, was taken into the locker room. Significant amount of pain, guys, with that left pinky, as we saw, pointing in a direction it should not.
It should not.
I'm told there's still a chance we could see him again. He's questionable.
Good stuff, Mel. Thank you. That was a tough one. Tennessee has dropped 3 today.
Well, that was gruesome. My guess is it was dislocated, obviously, and thought maybe they'd pop it back in and get back out, but not yet.
Foreman on 2nd down and 10 with a lead block right there by Swaim, the tight end. He picks up 6 as he plows his way down to about the 19-yard line. This Foreman, he didn't even play in a game until middle of last year. He's 4 years out of Texas. He is the closest thing they've got to Derrick Henry. Signed him off the practice squad last week, and he is up and playing. 3rd and 4.
Well, and the Saints have been very good coming into this game on 3rd down, and so far the Titans are 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions.
Good to see Brown back in. 3rd and 4. McNichols the back. And it goes to McNichols and a block by the aforementioned Brown, and down he goes and a gain of 2 and a good read right there by the outside linebacker and a former Pro Bowler, Quan Alexander, and a good hit too by Roby, combining on the sock. And
well, and I thought McNichols was going to pick this up. He had leverage to the outside, but as you said, Alexander just comes flying from the inside and Roby to the outside, and that's why McNichols was slow getting up, the 2 of them together.
So here comes Bullock, a 36-yard try. He knocked one through in the last possession from 28, and he'll drill it to tie the game at 6. Remember, there was a missed extra point by the Saints. Tied at 6, a good one. Saints and Titans on CBS. I mean, with a pinpoint throw to Deontay Harris. On that play, beat Chris Jackson, and then the subsequent touchdown throw to Smith. That was our progressive snapshot. Field goal moments ago by Bullock. That one from 36. He's got the ball teed up. We're tied at 6. New Orleans right now number 6 in the NFC. If the playoffs were to begin today, it'll be at the 1-yard line, and Deontay Harris. Got a block from Washington. Swerves outside. Broke a tackle. Amani Rice works his way to the far side and picks up 14 on the play. Well, this AFC has been topsy-turvy. The Chargers were on top after week 5. They beat the Cleveland Browns. We did that game in Los Angeles. And then the Ravens won, beating the Colts. They were number 1, week 6. We did then Cincinnati's win over Baltimore. And Cincinnati was on top with Joe Burrow. Then they lost. And then Tennessee the last 2 weeks has been on top of the AFC.
Are you saying we have a fight in any of that? I don't know.
You know, I'm not a superstitious guy. I'm a reporter.
You're just relaying the facts.
I'm just relaying the facts. Ingram wrapped up, brought down, no breathing space right there. A couple guys, Monty Rice being one of them, limiting him to a gain of a yard near the 15.
How about the fact in the AFC there are 11 teams that have winning records?
Isn't that something?
9 of the 11 teams have 5 wins. So
what's your read on that? Like, what's your 30,000-foot view of that?
You know, I just think it's going to be a great stretch run here down the second half of the season, as you got so many teams clumped together. And then you go to the NFC, a little bit different story. It's kind of a top-heavy, bottom type of league, but the Saints have got themselves right now at number 6 in the NFC in terms of standings.
Taysom Hill, 2nd down 9 underneath. The tight end, Troutman's got it, and then getting him was Monty Rice. Monty Rice, a rookie out of Georgia, a 2-year starter for the Dogs, number 1 team in the country, pick up a 2 to the 17.
Well, here we go to another critical 3rd down. The Saints on the last drive, we showed that pass, the long pass to Deontay Harris. That was on 3rd down. The Titans decided to bring some pressure and go man-to-man, and the Saints took advantage of it with the Simeon throw to Harris. See if the Titans go a little more conservative and go with a zone on this 3rd down attempt.
Ingram in 3rd and 7. Trevor Simeon. Blocked by Ramczyk, and then they get around him and brought down by Harold Landry. The number 2 sacker in the NFL, flag thrown, no gain.
They're going to get Chris Jackson. He was in coverage and
holding. Defense, number 35.
You called it.
5-yard penalty after the end of the run. Automatic. 1st down.
It's going to be a drag route underneath, and Jackson just gets his hand. Here they are lined up. This is going to be, it's too deep with man underneath, so a 2-man concept. Watch how Jackson, he puts his hand around the hip. Maybe a little bit of acting there. It wasn't enough of contact, but he did put that right hand around his hip so he could catapult himself in front of the receiver. And on that move, the receiver went to the ground, and that's all the officials needed to see was contact and the receiver going to the ground to bring the flag.
1st and 10. To Ingram. Upping it out. Incomplete. Looking for Harris. 2nd down and 10. There are a couple of players of note out of that Tennessee defense today. Cruikshank is out in the secondary. Maben is out with an ankle. In fact, Cruikshank is on IR for 3 games, and so you're going to see more of Chris Jackson. They did get back Christian Fulton, their other starting corner, next to Jack Rabbit Jenkins in that secondary. He was activated from the IR. 2nd down 10. Christian Fulton, by the way, was the New Orleans High School Defensive Player of the Year. And going ahead and getting the all-time leading Saints rushing record is the bruising Mark Ingram. 3rd game with the Saints and the trade with Houston, and he passes with that the great Deuce McAllister, who stands and salutes the guy that passed him as the all-time leading New Orleans Saints running back in terms of rushing yards.
Well, I remember Deuce. He's the guy that came in the same time that I did, and what a great career he had, as we see, over 6,000 yards.
3rd down and 7. Secondary with 5. Ramczyk the block. Simeon's got him. Incomplete. Looking for Kevin White. He was signed off the practice squad. Former number 1 pick by Chicago. Incomplete. Off his fingertips. 4th down.
Well, this is a ball that Simeon's going to want back because he does have him. There's no one over to that side of the field. If he just flattens him out and brings him more towards the sideline, he lays the ball up the field, and White not able to bring it in.
Billiken will punt. Deep back. The Titans have Chester Rogers out of Grambling State, Louisiana. Sends this one skyward, looking to play Tennessee Sun. Broke one tackle at the 35 and staggers ahead and hit by Caden Ellis and others. 9-yard return. They were this close off his fingertips in a tie game in Nashville.
When you're driving a Lincoln.
There's a live shot of our studios in New York. They're getting ready for the Verizon halftime report. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and head coach Bill Cowher. Scores, news, highlights, notes from around the NFL. The Verizon halftime from our CBS studios. Coming up, a punt by the Saints. 1st and 10, 44 for Tannehill, who missed practice on Friday because he was ill. He had COVID in camp, and he missed 9 days in training camp. AP was back there, 1st and 10, little cross right here. Marcus Johnson, boy, has he become the guy. Marcus Johnson on the fly, 5th-year receiver out of Texas, on the move. Caught and ran for 16 to the 40 of the Saints. Adebo brought him out.
A double cross by the tight end. This is just going to be a rub underneath. Watch as Tannehill comes back and look, he catches him in man-to-man coverage. Easy completion to Johnson for a 1st down.
So how significant is that for a quarterback in the NFL to miss a Friday practice?
That is significant. Anytime, Friday is when you're kind of putting your game plan together.
Wildcat Peterson gets it off to Tannehill. Chased and throws on the play. Caught! Brown, did he hold on? Yep, he did. Hit there by Williams. They were chasing him with Malcolm Roach, and he could feel it, and yet Tannehill throws and picks up 16 through the air and a first down.
No one was falling for the fact that Adrian Peterson had that ball or took the ball at snap. And good catch by A.J. Brown. Tannehill takes a shot from Passanio after that play.
First and 10, Adrian Peterson. He'll plow his way and round his ankles. He finds Demario Davis. It is a gain of 5. 36-year-old Adrian Peterson, who is signed. He's played for a host of teams, the number 5 rusher of all time in the history of pro football.
When we asked him, what have you been doing to keep yourself? And he said, you know what? I've been doing cardio. I've been doing flexibility, just keeping myself ready. He said, I honestly didn't know if I was going to get another chance, but I wanted to be ready if that opportunity came up.
He still has the hardest, tightest handshake of anybody in NFL history. Second down and 5. Too much time. Delay. Jerome Boger.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
What are the mechanics of that, Trent? When a quarterback is it on the quarterback? Is it the play not coming in quick enough? Like what happens on?
Well, all of it comes into play, but the quarterback's responsibility as you're at the line of scrimmage is to keep your eye on the 25-second clock, and you're trying to time it out. And Tannehill, after that was penalized, he turns around to the official and he's yelling 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. So he thought he got it with 1 second left on the clock.
Timeout, New Orleans. We'll be back to Nashville in 30 seconds after this from Progressive Insurance.
Progressive presents At Home with Baker Mayfield.
Baker reaching for that first cup of coffee. Let's see if this can get his feet moving. Oh, he's putting it back on a hot plate. Must mean a second cup is coming. And with a burst of speed, Baker heads up the stairs like a man on a mission.
Baker coming in hot, looking a little gas from the stairs.
It's like 7 a.m. Maybe pump the brakes a little bit.
Baker stands in the doorway.
Seems a little annoyed.
I tried.
Uh-oh, leaving the seat up. Emily's not gonna like that.
So delay a game and a timeout. Back to back. 2nd and 10 now.
Hey, check.
Fake to Peterson. Grab right there. If it was Chester Rogers, who was it on the play? 8 and 9. Demario Davis is there, the first cousin of the late Steve McNair. Played in the stadium, took the team to a Super Bowl.
Well, the Titans trying to hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage, get a quick snap here.
3rd and 1.
Hey, give me something.
Here they go with A.J. Brown. He's got the first down, and they're going to have a goal to go. Eventually tackled by Marcus Williams and put him down to the 8. Baynes 7.
Taylor Lewan gets to the outside. He seals the edge. They catch the Saints in man-to-man coverage, and so that makes it an easy lane for A.J. Brown to get to the outside.
Quickly moving first half in Nashville. Two of the best teams in their respective conferences. 5-3 New Orleans, 7-2 Tennessee. Coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company. Scores, news, highlights, Week 10 in the NFL. The Verizon Halftime from New York right after this. 1st and goal at the 7. Saints defense today without C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Right foot injury on the IR. Trent, one of the more versatile defenders they have. Right now it's a goal-to-go situation for Tennessee.
Well, and the Saints have been outstanding in the red zone. Coming into today, they were number 2 in the NFL in red zone defense. And so far today, the Titans are 0 for 2 in the red zone, settling for field goals both times.
1st and goal. Fake to Peterson. Crumbling pocket to the end zone. Intercepted! Picked off by Williams. Did he hold on? It looks like he did. Yep. What a grab. What a pick. Flag thrown. Williams has 2 picks this year.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 55, gets a blow to the head of the quarterback. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
It's on Caden Ellis, and he wipes away the end zone interception.
Man, I know they're protecting quarterbacks. I don't see a hit to the head.
I know what you hit him on the nameplate.
That's a critical call because it takes away an interception and gives the Titans 1st and goal inside the 5. Sean Payton wants an explanation.
Well, you know what? I think he deserves one, right? I mean, it was close. These bang plays.
Right. And we're seeing it in slow-mo.
Yes,
we're seeing it from a different angle. I understand that.
Exactly. Timeout New Orleans. And they've got 1 left. And now Jerome Boger, who officiated Super Bowl 47, will talk with the head coach of the Saints. And you could then see that Ellis was trying to let up after the... Well, I mean, it's close. It does.
But it doesn't touch his head.
Well, the screws...
The face mask hits the nameplate.
Listen,
so
we're going to get our rules analyst, Gene Steratore, with us. Gene, this is right. The bang play thing that is so difficult for officials.
They aren't easy calls to make, guys. And in Jerome's defense, his angle is difficult. And I think what Coach Payton initially asked Jerome was, did you make that call? What you hope for in that play is the umpire, who's also in the offensive backfield, who has the opposite angle, can come and talk to you there and walk you through that and hopefully get you to pick that up. And then you get the right call at the end of the day, because this is not roughing the passer, in my opinion.
Thank you. Aaron Brewer is a tackle eligible, number 62, 1st and goal. Foreman is in. Oh, bobbled, and Foreman has it. Outside he goes, and back in the play by Warner. And picks up about 2, so 2nd goal at the 2.
Well, Kevin, this is such a game-changing play right there, right? Because they get the interception, it's their ball going the other direction. Right now, that type of play isn't allowed to be reviewed, isn't allowed to go to the replay system. That may be something they have to visit. The competition committee visits and says, you know what, we got to go back and be able to take a look at this and reverse something like that, or have the opportunity to reverse something like that, because it clearly, you know, it wasn't up in the head.
2nd goal at the 3. The whistle blew, and the pass was caught in the end zone, and a flag. And it's on Tennessee.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Tight end Ferkser.
Well, Ferkser was trying to do a shift. He was on the ball, trying to shift off the ball. But Tannehill saw that there was nobody covering A.J. Brown, so he wanted to snap the ball quickly. The problem is whatever the play was, they had a shift involved in that play. So Tannehill came up and said, wait a second, nobody's covering him. And whatever his call is to make a quick snap, he didn't recognize that a shift was going on at the same time.
And now...
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 50 seconds. 1:50 on the game clock.
So the official that you saw on the side running out there was on top. The things on the plate for these 7 officials in all these games, and there are 17 crews, is just immense.
Well, it is. They're trying to see something, and we have the advantage of all the different camera angles and the slow motion and the different sight lines and those kinds of things. And the game does happen fast, and there is a human element, obviously, to all this, and there's going to be mistakes made.
Peterson in, 2nd goal at the 8. Here comes Tannehill, and from behind, Shai Tuttle and a couple others get on him. It's a gain of 2. He's down to the 6. And we know that Tannehill can run. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns this season. We're stepping aside for this 30-second break.
I'm legendary quarterback Tony Romo, and with the help of Tostitos, I'm telling one lucky fan like Steve all the football-y stuff they need to impress their friends. With Romo in your ear. Nominate the football novice in your life today.
My retirement plan with Boger keeps me moving forward. They guide me with achievable steps that give me confidence. This is my granddaughter. She's cute like her grandpa. Boger doesn't just help me get to retirement, they're with me all the way through it.
Boger, be confident to and through retirement.
So it's 3rd and goal at the 6 with a look at Sean Payton, who has won 3 of 4, lost a heartbreaker last week to Atlanta after coming back from a huge deficit. The running back now is McNichols, 3rd down back. 3rd and goal at the 6. Tannehill, incomplete, flags going for Ferkser. Right in a thicket of Saints defenders, a nest of Saints defenders right about that goal line.
Pass interference, defense, number 56. Spotted a foul, automatic, first down.
That's on Demario Davis.
Davis is lined up right here, and as the throw is being made, what's the contact right at the top of the route? He grabs him and turns his body. That's what the official that throws the flag is in the back middle of the end zone underneath the goalpost. And all he sees is that right arm wrapped around the shoulders of Ferkser and the body turning.
Peterson in, 1st and goal at the 1. Quarterback sneak, and that's a Tennessee touchdown. A 1-yard plunge, 5th rushing touchdown of the season for Ryan Tannehill. And Tennessee is taking the lead.
Well, the advantage that the Titans had on that is they had 2 penalties setting up 1st and goal. First, the interception that happened, and the hit to Tannehill gave him a 1st and goal at the 5, and then the penalty that sets up 1st and goal at the 1. Titans able to take advantage of it, get it in the end zone.
So A.J. Brown caught one for 16 and ran one for 7, and Marcus Johnson caught one from 16. Extra point is true by Bullock. And it's a 13-6 lead. Controversial call here, a close one, which kept the drive alive. And then Tannehill on the quarterback keeper. Trent, we showed a graphic in the last section, but the Titan offense now has scored a touchdown on their last 16 consecutive goal-to-go possessions.
Well, now with 1:38 to go here in the first half, the Saints don't have any timeouts. Remember, they won the coin toss, so they get the ball first coming out in the second half. And of their 8 games, they've scored a touchdown in 5 of the 8 games in the final 2 minutes of the first half.
Washington a block for Harris. Past the 30-yard line to the 32, and returns at about 27 yards. So a look at Trevor Siemian. We've told you before about the lack of Alvin Kamara and what that means, but when you think about the numbers, he has been on the field 78% of the snaps, a career high 23 touches a game, either catching or running. I mean, that's a big hole to fill.
He's a huge part of this offense, and with no Michael Thomas, the job that he's always been a good receiver, but he is even more of a receiver this season because they needed him.
Siemian to Ingram. Ingram brought down in the secondary by Fulton, the second-year defensive back out of LSU. Gain of 12, first down to the 44.
The Titans, the defenders were basically taking a nap on top of him, not letting him get up because they know that they don't have any timeouts and keep that clock moving.
1st and 10. Blocked by Ruiz and dropped right there at the 49-yard line, and they were going for the tight end, Jawan Johnson out of Oregon. 2nd down and 10. Coverage on the play by Elijah Molden. We've had 2 lead changes in the first half.
Well, they obviously could have used that 8 yards right there, but
yes,
it's not a bad thing stopping the clock with 1:08.
Saints have no timeout. 2nd down 10. Ingram is the back. And Siemian gets a block from Hurst, the left tackle, and downfield. Caught! Nice looking grab by Deontay Harris. He threw it only where it could be caught. Good throw by Siemian. Pickup of 21 to the 35, and a player down, and that is O'Daney.
Well, that's an excellent throw by Trevor Siemian, because it looked for a long time that Jackson was going to be able to either intercept that ball or at least get a hand on it. But Siemian lays it to the outside, just past the outstretched arm of Jackson. Watch as he leaps.
Like
just
the only
right over
place,
the top.
right? I mean,
exactly.
like the only place he could have completed that pass.
And Harris is able to roll his way out of bounds to stop the clock.
Injury timeout inside of 2 minutes, and Tennessee will lose their first timeout with Mike Vrabel walking out there. 2 left. 92. We're going to step aside here in Nashville on CBS.
All you can do is tell the truth and hope that the evidence doesn't disagree.
Federal agent.
Well, the good news is he's walking off. He got up on his own, but Danny, when he went to the ground, it was Hurst. Watch as he comes off the edge, 92. Hurst is blocking him, and as he goes to the ground, then watch Hurst when he lands on top of him. That helmet kind of jerks to the right. Great to see him up and moving around, getting himself to the sideline.
1st and 10. Completion at 21 yards to Harris. No timeouts, New Orleans. Coming up the middle, messy pocket. Hit on the play by Joe Jones and others, and then Simmons will finish him off. It's a 3rd sack, back to the 38.
And Kevin, that's a big mistake by Trevor Siemian. With no timeouts, this clock is just moving, and your guys are down the field, so it takes time for them to get back, and wasting a lot of time here.
2nd down, 14. Ramcheck the block. Being chased from behind. Landry gets him. Naps a sack.
That's an even bigger mistake, Kevin. Instead of, you could have thrown the ball away on either one of those and kept the time and not the lost field position. Now you've got to try and get some yards back here and get the clock stopped.
Why didn't Tennessee take a timeout? They could really, here's a pass low, and Callaway, and a whistle and a flag. But Tennessee's got 2 timeouts, and they could perhaps do something in the minimal time remaining.
False start. Offense, number 76. Because this foul occurred with the clock running under 2 minutes,
10 seconds.
There's a 10-second runoff applied. Please remove 10 seconds from the game clock to 3 seconds.
That's on Throckmorton, who is playing today the left guard, taking the place of Andrus Peat.
Well, now you just got to try a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
But the problem with taking, first off, you keep the clock moving by taking the sack on back-to-back downs. Then on 3rd down, let's say they complete that ball and it gets going. They don't have any timeouts, and there's not enough time to run your field goal unit on the field. So
it's 3rd and 22, and depleted as they may be, but probably making sense. A.J. Brown is back at the 5, playing a defensive back here. See, number 11, he's in the game. I've always thought that makes sense anyway, didn't you? Just the guys are going up for balls anyway, good receivers like Brown, and put them back there in situations where the Hail Mary may be thrown.
Yeah, we've seen a number of teams that have either put wide receivers, tight ends, anybody that's tall back there that can help knock the ball down.
So it's interesting, you know, here is a New Orleans team that had 1st and 10 at their own 35, and they have at the 35 of Tennessee. And they had sack, and a false start. So, I mean, you're talking about a complete unraveling here late.
Yeah, you had the ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I'm out of field goal range, too, and Siemian will go underneath and out of bounds and trying to get back in field goal range. Troutman gets it, runs out, clock is run out. Gain of 6, halftime is here. Tannehill with a 1-yard touchdown plunge. 2nd lead change of the first half. Titans are on top. Halftime is here and comes up after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local CBS station.
You know how some carriers give you so little for your older busted phone you just end up living with it? I don't think so. Verizon lets you trade in your broken phone for a shiny new one. You break it, we upgrade it. You dunk it, doggy bone it, slam it, wham it, strawberry jam it. We upgrade it.
Get a 5G phone on us with select plans.
every customer, current, new, or business.
Because everyone deserves better. And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
Back in Nashville, now our first half highlight presented by State Farm. His quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, follows his center, Jones, into the end zone to take a lead at halftime. 5 rushing touchdowns this season for Tannehill. But there have been some pressure points, too, by the defense of Tennessee as they have notched 4 sacks already against Simeon and the Saints.
Well, Kevin, this half is pretty much what we expected. A physical game, hard to come by yards. There were a couple of big plays, a couple of big pass completions that got them into field position. But for the most part, it's just going to be a battle, and I think it's going to continue. Only one conversion on 3rd down by both of these offenses. We saw the 4 sacks. It's going to come down to who makes the big mistakes. And in the first half, it was the Saints defense that had some critical penalties that set up that touchdown by Ryan Tannehill.
Could some of the offensive issues be that we're talking about 2 main characters that are out? Derrick Henry certainly for the Titans, and Alvin Kamara missing a game for New Orleans.
Well, when we talk about New Orleans having 5 starters that are missing out of their lineup, not only Alvin Kamara, but I mean they've missed a number of other starters as well. And then Derrick Henry is such a big part of that Tennessee offense, not only in the running game, but the play action pass, because every time they fake it to him, that's what creates openings down the field, and they don't have that piece today.
We had mentioned it briefly, but it bears repeating. Julio Jones going on IR earlier, and here comes Harris. Oh, it's a fumble on the play. Charred free inside the 20. Titans seem to think they've got it. They unravel the bodies. Big hit in there by Dylan Cole. And it is Tennessee's ball. What a way to begin the second half. Dylan Cole was just elevated from the practice squad.
Well, I just got through finishing a few seconds ago saying it was about mistakes. Which team making mistakes to set up the other team, because this is such a battle, and the Saints had those key penalties at the end of the half that set up the Tannehill touchdown. Now with the tackle and knocking the ball loose, yeah, you can get excited.
It's the first turnover of the game, and Dylan Cole out of Missouri State, undrafted, began with the Houston Texans and just elevated, comes up with a huge play. Peterson in the backfield. A pistol set. And Peterson. Nice block in there by Seffel. Tackled by Malcolm Jenkins, gaining 4. Mel down to the 15.
Kevin, Mike Vrabel was relatively pleased with that first half. He said it was good to see our guys take advantage of those 2 penalties in the red zone and score, but he wants to be better in that area. He said we've got to start sustaining drives offensively. Defensively, he said, I want my guys to continue to get pressure on Trevor Siemian and force him into making mistakes. Sean Payton, not quite as happy, but he said we knew it was going to be this kind of game. He wanted this, and he said the key to sustaining drives in the second half will be finding a better balance between pass and run.
Now, thank you. Foreman in, 2nd down and 5. And it is Foreman. Lead block there by Carter. Submarines down to the 10. And the gain there of about 3.
Well, this would be a huge 3rd down here for the Titans if they can get this conversion. And on the other side of it, the Saints, if they could get a stop here after that big momentum swing and the turnover in the opening kickoff, the Saints getting a stop here to force a field goal attempt.
Running back is Jeremy McNichols, 3rd down and 2.
Expect man-to-man coverage.
Tannehill. The one, the block, and underneath they go, and it's caught here, and down to the 1, Marcus Johnson. Brought down by Jenkins, a gain of 10 on 3rd and 2, and it's 1st and goal for Tennessee.
On a play we saw earlier in the first half is The two receivers to the right go over the top. Johnson goes underneath. They picked up big yards out of it the first time they used it. This time only needed enough to get the first down. Only a few yards to get the first down and get it down to the 1.
Titans are great getting points off turnovers. Running back is Peterson, 1st and goal. It's out to AP, chasing the play by Cam Jordan, and down near the 1. Hit by Jordan, losing a yard on the play, they say now, where he may have hit at the 2.
Well, and I think that's going to even go down as a run. I think that was a backward pass, okay. so it'll end up being a run, but it's almost just a different way to run a sweep, right? Get it to the outside, and the Saints were ready for it.
Last week, as we watch it again, the Titans scored 14 points off of Ram turnovers. 2nd down, goal at the 2. Peterson, fake into the end zone, caught for the touchdown. Michael Pruitt, a 2-yard touchdown pass. And points off turnovers, a big hit by Cole, jarred the ball free.
It's the run fake that sets this up. They release to the outside and get the flat to the outside. Pruitt comes down and fakes the block and then gets to the outside.
One more from Randy Bullock. Pruitt has only caught 11 passes all season, now 3 touchdowns. Harris coughed it up on the Dylan Cole hit. And then the tight end, Pruitt, for 6.
Ideas are...
Home of the Titans, Nissan Stadium here in Nashville. Another touchdown by Tannehill, this time a pass to Pruitt of a couple yards after there was a fumble on a kickoff return by Deontay Harris on a huge hit by Dylan Cole. The Titans have scored 17 unanswered points. And here is another kickoff by Tennessee, the #1 team in the AFC at 7-2. Harris, let's see how he comes out, I'm sure with a lot of aggression. Trying to slice his way upfield. Down he went. The Titan offense, just to finish it off, he had a 27-yard return. The Titan offense has scored an NFL high 6 touchdowns on their first drive of the second half. So they really, I don't know how many adjustments are made. We always hear about that. I don't know, but certainly they back it up with some scoring out of halftime.
Well, and they're taking full advantage. Obviously, great field position after the fumble on the kickoff return by the Saints that gave them that great field position. But you still have to get the job done. You still have to get production, and they were able to do it once again.
Simeon, 1st and 10. He goes to Hill. Ball jarred free. Nice hit right there. Christian Fulton, who's back. He's from Metairie. Played for LSU, part of the national championship team down there. Activated from the IR and back out there starting opposite of Jack Rabbit Jenkins.
See if he gets 1, 2. He turns up. They called it incomplete. It was close.
Ingram in, 2nd and 10. Mark Ingram wrapped up by Simmons as he nudged his way for 2 and out near the 26. Simmons right there.
Well, both these defenses have been dialed in on the running backs. Ingram now 8 carries for just 21 yards. Adrian Peterson 4 carries for 13 yards. Deontay Foreman for the Titans actually has more carries with 8 for 24. But both these defenses, as we expected coming into it, dialed in to stop the run.
I'll tell you who's been quiet today has been Danico Autry. Not that he hasn't helped and probably seeing a lot of attention, but he has been on a tear. He's had a good couple games, 3rd and 8. Blow that dead. And Autry, by the way, was right back there in the backfield.
There was a late substitution by the offense, so the play was shut down. We're going to still play 3rd down.
All right. Simeon, who is known by Tennessee because Simeon was on this Tennessee team last year. Then midseason, he was signed to New Orleans And he was actually on the active roster for about a month, but we talked to him about watching Drew Brees. He also watched Peyton Manning in Denver, so this guy's had some pretty good mentors.
Well, and he talked to us about that, the different things that he tried to learn from those quarterbacks and how you try and build your repertoire of what you want to be and how you want to play the position.
It's 3rd and 8 for Simeon. Across the middle he goes and incomplete, and Troutman could not lasso it. 4th down, the punting unit will take the field for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, there's a miscommunication there because Troutman was sitting down. He was actually going to stop in the middle of the field, and Simeon thought he was going to continue on the route and just not making the connection, whether or not he was going to be able to pick up the 1st down or not.
Player is down on the field. For a second time, Adeni is down. For this Tennessee team, the #1 team right now in the AFC, and win or lose today, they will still be #1. But boy, they had some big wins lately. They beat Buffalo, the Chiefs, the Colts, Rams last week. And maybe even more interesting about Tennessee, and both teams have been just killed by injury, but Tennessee has had 80 different players this season. That is the most in the NFL, and they've added actually 3 more guys today: Fulton, Cole, and Pecco.
Most by any team by far.
Right? Yes,
I
not
say
close.
Yeah,
69, I think, is the other number that they're near. It's an amazing job that they have done. Robinson, their GM, Vrabel, their head coach, to punt here. Gillikin. They're caught, signaled for, and allotted at the 33-yard line for Chester Rogers. It's a 42-yard punt, and a flag sits back at about the 27. Other end of the field.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, receiving team, number 24.
Elijah Molden.
Number 24 of the kicking team.
Oh, wrong one.
15-yard penalty added from the play. 1st down, Tennessee.
That's Dwayne Washington who picked it up. 11:04 in the 3rd. The Titans and the Saints on CBS.
Welcome back to Nissan Stadium, and now a salute to service moment presented by USAA. Ahmad Hall served as the Titans' 12th man today during pregame ceremonies. Hall played fullback for the Titans from 2006 to 2011, and prior to his football career, Hall served in the United States Marines. Ahmad, thank you so much for your service.
What a wonderful report. The salute to service, one of the main focuses of the NFL and their relationship, their partnership with the military. Earlier we showed you pictures of veterans from fans and our CBS crew that are all around the stadium outside after the punt, 1st and 10. Adrian Peterson wrapped up right there by Granderson and others. It takes everybody to bring him down, and a gain of 2 to midfield. There's a look at Granderson, inactive last week with a shoulder problem. Saints coming in, having won 3 of 4. They're 5-3, losing last week to Atlanta by 2. They had won their 3 previous games. They're in 2nd place in the South. Aiming back of the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers. They've beaten Tampa Bay already. This is the defending champion in the NFC South, New Orleans. They've won it 4 straight years. 2nd down 8. Draw play here, McNichols into a group of defending Saints, coming in with the 12 defense, #1 against the run. Just a meager gain right there. Trent Green of 2.
Well, and you mentioned that. For me, it's been a little bit of inconsistency for the Saints this year. You mentioned the fact that they beat Tampa Bay. They also beat Green Bay.
Right,
and
yes.
You look at some of their losses, and it's like, okay, how do you beat Tampa Bay and Green Bay, who are 2 of the better teams, if not the best teams in the NFC, and then turn around and have some of these losses? It looks like Taylor Lewan is the one.
He is.
Still down on the field, and he missed last week's game.
He did. Didn't play last week. ACL last year, so only played 5 games last year. This is a game he starts today, but he's missed 3 games this season. And they'll get him off. He says he's fine. Was he cramping there because he was stretching that leg, do you think, or what?
Well, they were pointing to his calf, and then he just tapped on his arm. So he's probably saying, like, I'm just guessing here that maybe he's asking for an IV. I don't know if he's cramping. That was an unusual thing. They're looking at his calf, and then he taps his arm on the way into the tent.
Kendall Lamb has come in to take his place. 3rd down, 6. Lamb started against the Chiefs a couple weeks ago here. Oh, Lamb rolled. They just shoved right into him with Davenport. Just took Lamb and shoved him into his quarterback, and that's the first sack by the Saints. Road grading right there. Marcus Davenport just plowed through, and Lamb goes back into his QB. They lose 7.
As you said, Kevin, this is just a bull rush. He dumps him right into the lap
wow.
of Ryan Tannehill.
What a play.
Welcome to the game.
Yes. Holy smokes. They shut that down. We'll try to get a word on Luan. Here is the punt by Kern. Harris will get the fair catch at the 12. Hang of 4-8. There is wind. They're with it on that punt. 42-yarder and a timeout in Nashville.
As someone who resembles...
You can either eat a turkey or wear a turkey. Inside the NFL, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+. Get expert insight and exclusive commentary from the hardest-hitting team in the game, including James Brown and Phil Simms. Stream new episodes on the Emmy Award-winning series Tuesdays, 9:30 Eastern. And this is Ingram, who slips by Hooker, hit by Rice, picks up 6 on 1st and 10. Landry was right there with the stop as well. We talked before about how Alvin Kamara not playing today. He has been on the field for 78% of the snaps, and he's touching at a career high 23 times a game.
Well, and it's a huge piece that's missing. And you look at the fact, 32.3% of the total offense, which is most in the NFL. And it's not just the running game they miss him, it's the passing game as well.
2nd down and 4. That was deflected coming through. Was it Jones who got him? He was the one who kind of scored it free. I'm not sure really who hit him. Murchison was in there too. Boy, they came right up the middle and knocked it away, deflecting the ball. Let's see if we're right. Was Simmons? Yep, it was Simmons. 3's a charm. I knew I'd finally guessed the right guy. It was Simmons. It was Simmons.
Well, the Saints are just 1 of 6 on 3rd down today, and you hear this crowd trying to get into it a little bit.
So the Saints in a big hole for a 2nd consecutive week. Trailed by a ton last week and came back. Here's a 3rd and 4 for Simeon. Blocked by Hurst. Time, and there's the nice throw. Caught by Smith. On the fly and outside his 40-yard line. Byard will bring him down. Put him at the 40. Catch and run at 21. Simeon completes it on 3rd and 4.
Similar like we've seen the tight ends do multiple times, is double receivers from one side, drag underneath. So if you catch him in man coverage, that defender has to either bubble over the top or try and trail underneath. That leaves an opening for Smith to pick up the 1st down.
Traquan Smith gets it in 4 catches today. 1st and 10. Breathing space. And the handoff here, Dwayne Washington. After Brown is around his waist, Washington is a former Detroit draft choice, picking up 4 out to the 43.
Well, the thing about it, both these teams are continuing to try and run the football, even though there hasn't been much success running the football. That's just who they are offensively. Run the football, get some play action pass going.
Taysom Hill is checked in. That was Washington's 2nd carry of the season. 2nd and 6. And check a block. Underneath they go to Troutman. He's into Tennessee territory, and he's met there by Monty Rice. Picking up 8. And Trent, that's a 1st down to the 48.
Well, excellent job by Taysom Hill that time. He had 2 receivers out to the right. That's where he wanted to go with the ball, and continued to look over there, and Troutman was on the backside. He eventually worked his way over there and got him on the check down.
Saints here losing their starting quarterback, Jameis Winston, who had knee surgery, by the way, in Los Angeles Friday. Their best offensive player, we've talked about him, Kamara, and they're starting left tackle and left guard. 1st and 10.
We're good.
Simeon in. Oh, they come off the side, and he hits who else? Taysom Hill. He's catching, he's throwing, he's running, and he gets it all the way with a catch around of 15 yards down to the 32, 33-yard line. Make it the 33, hit by Bayard. First down, New Orleans.
Well, he's going to come in. He's actually going to set a little bit of a block, and then he's going to delay on his release. There's a crossing route up the field with deep receivers. So come off the play fake. He's the third check down. He's the third read, and the Titans fell back deep to take away the deep play, but lost track of Hill as he came down to block initially, and then was the check down.
Washington back there, 1st and 10, Washington. And into his own blocker, Ramczyk. Rams into him, takes it past the 30, and Mel tackled by Bayard on a gain of 4.
Kevin, a couple Titans injury updates for you. Left tackle Taylor Lewan and linebacker Ola Adeni appear to both be dealing with some cramps, so they've been receiving fluids in the blue medical tent. Adeni is good to go. He's back out there, but Lewan continues to receive hydration, and I'll continue to monitor his status, Kevin.
Great, thank you. And also, Bud Dupree is out for the game. Dupree was injured in the first half as he makes his way back from a torn ACL a year ago. 2nd down, 6. Simeon outside. Nice nifty move right there. Spinning on a dime is Ingram. Brought down on the play by Brown. Picks up 9. Now the offense has got some rhythm. Put him at the 19 of the Titans.
When they had Ingram one-on-one with Brown, and see a little bit of a slip there as he tries to spin it back to the inside.
Yeah, Mel was talking about that before the game in the field.
Talking about the players and how they're all, Coach Payton wanted them all in screw-in cleats, half-inch screw-in cleats.
9th play of the drive. It's a 1st and 10, jet sweep. Here goes to Harris. Load up from behind by Rice. Out of bounds he goes near the 12, 13-yard line. Let's see where they spot that ball. Give him a gain of 5, put him at the 13.
I think this may be the best drive we've seen
great
out of the Saints today.
But
because
rhythm,
there's some rhythm to it. There's some first down. There's some continuity going. You know, you go back to the first half, and really that scoring drive was set up by a big play down the sideline prior to the touchdown pass. But this has been their best drive by far.
Hill caught and ran one for 21. Here is a throw batted down on 2nd down and 4. They got right in the passing lanes, and it was swatted away. Very messy pocket. And it looked like maybe Danico Autry got a paw on that pass.
I think you're 1 for 1 that time. I think
Okay,
it was Danico Autry. They got it. Setting up a critical 3rd down here for the Saints.
5-minute drive, 3rd down and 4. It's a pitch. Ramczyk the back. Oh, what a great cut inside, a touchdown! Mark Ingram for 6. And the Saints are back in business. 13-yard touchdown run. A beauty by Ingram. A block out there by Ramczyk. And he's in for 6.
Well, a quick flash fake by Simeon to Harris that was in motion, and then the flip to the outside to Ingram. Watch as Harris goes by. It gives the appearance that he's going to hand it to him on the sweep. Instead, he pitches it to the outside to Ingram. Great blocking on the edge, and then Ingram taking it in at the end.
That's his first rushing touchdown in his 2nd stint with the Saints. And that is no good. He misses again. Johnson. He's missed 2 PATs. They've had kicking problems all season. Blocked by Ramczyk, cutting inside. Nifty move. Ingram with a touchdown run. Badly needed by New Orleans.
Cough, cough, sneeze, sneeze.
Ingram has got his first rushing touchdown since rejoining New Orleans 3 games ago on a trade with Houston. It's his 2nd one of the season. It was a 13-yard touchdown run, reading and blocking well the ensuing kickoff in an 8-point game. As Johnson is back there to get this on a bounce. And brought down about the 24-yard line and hit there by J.T. Gray. 6-yard return. So in Tennessee, you have the #1 team in the AFC. They're 7-2. They've won 5 straight. And they've beaten playoff teams along that way, including a big one in L.A. last Sunday night over the Rams. But they are without Derrick Henry. And then there's Sean Payton, who's without his centerpiece today, Alvin Kamara. 5 starters are out on offense for New Orleans. They've won 3 of 4. They're 5-3. If the playoffs began today, they'd be number 6 in the NFC. First and 10, Tannehill, who had a touchdown on a quarterback sneak and a short touchdown run. Here's a handoff, and it goes to Deontay Foreman, plowing his way for a yard to the 26. And Trent Green, some numbers right here.
Trevor Siemian's been very efficient with the football, doesn't have a turnover. He's taken a few sacks. You can see the third down production. The Saints' last drive, they were 1 of 6 going into that last drive, but 2 of 2 as they methodically moved down the field and got into the end zone. You mentioned Tannehill and those numbers, and that touchdown run that he had on the quarterback sneak also has a touchdown pass, but it's the Titans defense that has 4 sacks on the day.
Luan is back in, the all-pro left tackle. Injured last time, 2nd and 9, McNichols. They're jumping on him right there, P.J. Williams and others, and limiting him to a gain of 1. So Luan back in. 2 missed extra points today on scores by the Saints. By their kicker, who is their 4th, Brian Johnson. Will Lutz, who was a Pro Bowler back in 19, injured on IR this season, but they've also had Cody Parkey, Rosas. They've gone through a bunch, and they may be going through another. 3rd and 8. Tannehill through the air, 14-20 with a touchdown pass. Blocked by the tight end who dropped the pass. Ferguson, he was trying to do too much. He was blocking, he was spinning, and he dropped it.
And Kevin, even though the Titans have an 8-point lead here, they haven't done very much offensively. Just 200 lead here. They haven't done very much offensively. Just 206 yards of total offense. The first touchdown of the game was set up because of 2 New Orleans Saints penalties down towards the goal line. They gave them 1st and goal. And then the last touchdown here in the third quarter, opening in the third quarter, was a fumble by the Saints that gave the Titans great field position and taking advantage of that field position to get that 2nd touchdown.
Brett Kern to punt. Harris is back. Out of bounds, it flies. With 2:21 to play here in the 3rd, and Saturday, 3:30, another afternoon of the SEC on CBS, and it should be a good one. Number 25, Arkansas in Tuscaloosa to take on number 2, Alabama. We'll get you set for kickoff beginning at 2:30 Eastern with the drive to Atlanta. Then at 3 Eastern, college football today. Saturday, the SEC is on CBS. Mike Vrabel, this is a team that began the season 2-2. They've won 3 straight at home, and the win over the Rams impressive. The Saints last week were down by double digits to Atlanta and came back and actually took a lead late in the game, but lost that heartbreaker. 1st and 10. Oh, they flip it back. Ingram back to Simeon, and Simeon throws it away. I don't know if that was designed flea flicker, but the quick-thinking Ingram tossed it back when he knew he was in a torture chamber and couldn't get through.
That is 100% designed. You don't ever flip the ball back to the quarterback if it's a called run. So, yes, this was a called flea flicker. 2 receivers downfield, both Smith and Harris were downfield on deep crossing routes, but well covered, and Simeon does a good job of throwing it away and preventing the sack.
Christian Fulton blew that up. 2nd down, 10. Here comes Ingram who had the 13-yard touchdown run moments ago. Lassoed there by Monty Rice. Rookie out of Georgia, gain of 4 to the 30.
Flipping the ball back to the quarterback if it's not a designed play.
I don't know.
No, you know, the way it looked, it didn't look like it was a set play. No,
I thought he got it and then looked back, and then he goes, I'm going to run.
Right.
No, I'm going to throw it back to him. You know what? Nothing surprises me anymore.
You never know. You don't. You know, there's a lot of stuff.
Third and 6, they go deep and bobbled and almost brought in by Kevin White, who was jousting in flight with a couple, including Jack Rabbit Jenkins and others. Back there, Amani Hooker. and Bayard.
Good response by the Tennessee Titans defense. First off, getting a good stop on first down in the run attempt that Ingram had. And then on second down, not falling for the trick play and the flea flicker that the Saints had called. Then on third and long, once again, the Saints trying to go deep, but two guys in coverage able to knock that ball away for a 3 and out.
Blake Gillikin, who is on IR as a rookie last year. He's undrafted out of Penn State, punting here for the Saints. And they're caught on a dive, as you see, by the veteran Chester Rogers, a 44-yard punt, a hang of 5 points, 5 seconds. And there's the first touchdown today, and that went to Smith. Tannehill on a quarterback keeper from a yard. And then to his tight end, Pruitt, who caught one. And then moments ago, for you just joining us, it was Ingram slicing in for 13. But 2 missed extra points today by the New Orleans kicker, Brian Johnson. And we stand at 20-12. First and 10, Tannehill. Fake the Foreman, who offers a block. On the move, he throws to the tight end. On the fly and getting knocked out of bounds is Jeff Swaim. He picks up 5 on the play. And he's out to about the 32.
Well, continually trying to move the pocket for Tannehill. That time just a bootleg to get to the outside. So you're not just standing in the pocket as a target for the defense. Something he does very well.
Saints in second place in the South in a game and back of 6-2 Tampa Bay. They are losing right now. The Buccaneers are by 10. Second down and 5. Bobbled on the exchange. It's loose and a fumble reeled in by Tennessee at the 38. Quick thinking, and it looked like it was the wide receiver A.J. Brown who reeled it in. Vacuumed in that loose ball. That's a first down to the 38.
There are all kinds of different ways to pick up first downs. I don't recommend this one.
No, this is tough.
Drop the snap, kick it around a couple times, and then dive on it for the first down.
I think they're going to let the clock run out and get out of the third with an 8-point lead.
Titans are fortunate on that one, Kevin.
Tennessee #1 in the AFC. The Saints are #6 in the NFC, meeting today in Nashville. Tennessee's on top, 20-12. Melanie Collins is on our sideline today with Trent Green, Kevin Harlan. We start the fourth. 38-yard line, first and 10. Ryan Tannehill, a touchdown run, a touchdown pass, 15 of 22 through the air. First and 10. Into the air he goes, and he'll complete that pass. It's caught by Marcus Johnson, who's had a big day. And a gain on the play of 6. Tennessee leads. Baltimore, of course, lost at Miami on Thursday, as we saw. Tennessee, win or lose, they'll still be on top of the AFC today. But a win would really put them in position. Buffalo and New England both winning big today. Second down, 3, Foreman. Jones, the center, with the block. And a tackle made by Demario Davis on a gain of 2. Trent to the 47.
Well, and of the 7 wins that the Tennessee Titans have, 6 of those 7 games came against playoff teams from a year ago. So they've done outstanding when facing tough opponents.
Foreman, a former third-round pick by the Houston Texans. No Derrick Henry. Most of you that are joining us here in the midst of this game know that story, but it is something this Tennessee team is maneuvering around. 3rd and 1. Fake to McNichols to the tight end. Great hit. Swaim caught it, and Williams was right there. P.J. Williams hit him.
Well, and the Saints are saying it wasn't a first down, but you can see the ball is clearly past the first down marker.
And he holds on to it. And they give him the first. Gain of 2. So last week, Trent, the Titans go to Los Angeles on a Monday night, on a Sunday night game without Derrick Henry, and they win. Today, they're taking on a rugged New Orleans team although shorthanded with no Alvin Kamara. And they're winning again, learning how to without the centerpiece of their team, Foreman. Wrapped up by Roach. 3-yard gain down to the 48. So the remaining schedule is pretty favorable for the Titans.
Well, we talked about all the tough games they've had so far, and they have another one here today in terms of playoff teams or prior playoff teams from a season ago. But the remaining schedule, based on the winning percentage from this year, gives the Titans what looks like a smooth road to stay as the #1 seed in the AFC.
With a 2nd down and 7, a fake by Tannehill, a screen to Foreman, blockers ahead. That one right there from Saffold, off to the races, galloping free, cuts and drives inside the 10. Hit by Williams, 39-yard catch and run, and a beauty by D'Onta Foreman.
Beautifully designed play by the Titans, and it's one that they've used before. Watch as Tannehill comes out, a quick fake to the right, and comes back to his left to get D'Onta Foreman, and then Saffold out in the front to get that initial block. Excellent play design and execution.
Adrian Peterson is in. 1st and goal. Outside they go here. It was at the 9. The catch made by Dez Fitzpatrick, a rookie from Louisville who was just called up. First play of the game, first catch of the game.
Well, that's an unusual formation, and sometimes when you get a big play and you get down into the red zone, teams have predetermined or a set play that they've worked on where they hurry everybody to the line and try and cause some confusion by the defense, and that time the Saints were able to rally and make the tackle for no gain.
That is the 7th different receiver that Tannehill has thrown to. 2nd goal at the 9.
180! What's on?
Oh, from behind they got him. It was Davenport. He came streaming through and brings down Tannehill. Back at the 17, 2nd sack right there, loss of 8.
Well, Davenport's lined up on Lewan. You'll see it to the top of your screen there. Gets 77, and 92 comes right through and is able to rip Tannehill to the ground. Lewan is obviously back in the game after leaving a little bit earlier to get an IV, as Melanie told us down in the blue tent. You can see the tape on that left forearm.
Offensive coordinator for the Titans is Todd Downing. In his first year, he was the tight ends coach. 3rd and goal at the 17. McNichols is the back.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Now 3rd down and 22. There's Downing.
Well, they must have told Tannehill, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and, since it's 3rd and goal from way back here, we're just going to go ahead and take the extra 5 yards, and instead of using that timeout that may be critical down the stretch.
McNichols, Jones a block, and that opened about 3-4 yards as he burrows his way to the 18-yard line. It's 4th down. They're going to try for 3. And the defense of the Saints holds him out. And Randy Bullock will come out there. He's kicked 2 field goals today for the Titans from 28 and 36. This will be another 36-yarder.
Well, and an important one because this makes it a 2-possession game.
Morgan Cox is the 3-time Pro Bowl long snapper. And from 36, it is good, and they extend the lead 23-12 over New Orleans. 5 minutes gone in the 4th on CBS. Saints defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. The Saints red zone defense today, stopping a touchdown again 3 times in 5 Titan trips in the red zone.
Well, and that was the big difference in last week's win over the Rams as well. The Rams 3 possessions in the red zone, only got 1 touchdown, and that came late in the 4th quarter. So once again, the Saints red zone defense stepping up.
And they've going to put this one on the ground on the kickoff and picked up by Washington, the reserve running back who slips on that turf like we've been telling you about all day. A concern of head coach Sean Payton. And the return of 15. Let's go downstairs to Melanie Collins.
Well, guys, Mark Ingram told us the week that he was traded back to New Orleans was a total blur, but thankfully he still has close friends on this team. Teron Armstead offered up his place to Mark, so that's where he had been staying up until a few days ago when Armstead's family came to town. So Mark moved in now with Kenny Stills. He said we're like college roommates going to practice, coming back to the dorm room. Of course, it's a bit different, guys. Instead of the old training table meals, Kenny has a personal chef, which Mark was thrilled about.
Yeah, I bet. Food is always a priority. 1st and 10. Ingram in the backfield. Blocked by Hurst. Ingram on the fly and chased downfield by Brown. Ingram has come up huge in the absence of Alvin Kamara. A catch and run of 34 yards. Put him at the 34 of Tennessee.
Ingram in the backfield is just going to work his way up the sideline. And this may be Trevor Siemian's best throw of the day. He recognizes man coverage. He knows that he's got Ingram on Brown working up that left sideline and lays it perfectly in the basket. Big game.
And for whatever it's worth, the Saints, the #1 fourth-quarter scoring team in the NFL this season. They're going to need some points. 1st and 10. Whoops.
Looks like they got Autry with the hard count on that one.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 96. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Once down here on the edge.
Trevor Siemian, former Titan quarterback, former backup to Peyton Manning, starter for the Broncos. Taysom Hill is in, 1st and 5. Blocked by Ramczyk, and it's caught by the tight end, Johnson, moving a pile and takes it down near the 3. Byard was there, big-time throw by Siemian. Completes it to the tight end for 26. 1st and goal, New Orleans.
Well, that's back-to-back throws for Siemian that are right on the money, getting the Saints down inside the 5-yard line.
Johnson, undrafted out of Oregon. He was a wide receiver, and they converted him to a tight end. Hill in the backfield. Siemian under center. 1st and goal. Ingram now joins Hill. Hill the block. Ingram gets the call. Hit Simmons initially on the line, and he's just inside the 3 with the gain of about a half yard at the most. Now that clock under 8 minutes here in the 4th.
When you think this is an 11-point game, this is where you'd like to get the touchdown so you don't all of a sudden get the pressure of your next time you get your hands on the ball that you have to get a touchdown. So being this close, they need to come away with 6.
2nd down goal. Outside they go, caught by Smith, tried to get in, but they held him out, and Byard and company there, along with Molden and others.
Well, they're going to get a penalty in the end zone. It looks like offensive pass interference as they tried out of a bunch formation to the outside, clearing things out.
Pass interference, offense, #1. 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
That's on Callaway, the wide receiver out of Tennessee.
Well, they're going to call this on Callaway right at the point, but watch Stills. He goes up and actually starts blocking. He's going to be blocking while the ball's in the air. They both are. They both have contact. So you could have called it on either one. Those guys need to run through it. They need to run a fade and just get their bodies turned so they can't see that throw to the flat.
Fulton also over there. It's 2nd and goal at the 13. Hill is the quarterback. Taysom Hill. He'll run it. Ruiz a block, and he'll slither to the 7. And brought down to the play by Harold Landry with a gain of 6.
What a play by Landry. I mean, you get Taysom Hill going, and you get him going downhill like that, and I know there was another defender there, but Hill, had he a head of steam, was going to be able to get some momentum, get it down inside the 5-yard line. Now 3rd down and goal from the 8.
Ingram in, as is Siemian. It's 3rd and goal. Markham at the 7. Simeon blocked by Hurst to the end zone, and caught. Was he in? And out on the chalk. Traquan Smith. It was crowded back there, and a flag thrown on the play. About 2 yards deep in the end zone.
Well, just like we had a penalty.
Defense, number 31. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
Kevin Byard, who had a pick 6 last week.
First touchdown of the day by the Titans was set up by a penalty by the Saints in the end zone, and now returning the favor. Saints getting saved for a 1st and goal. Byard to be covering the slot. See 31 right in the middle there. He comes up, gets hands on. Man, that's touchy. Yes, he had his hands on him, but I don't know if it affected his route running.
Outside they go. Big time hit. Ball joint free. Traquan Smith could not hold. 2nd down and goal.
Just like the earlier penalty in the first quarter that was questionable about the Saints.
I know it.
That was a questionable one, but it's given a unique opportunity, an excellent opportunity for the Saints to kind of get a redo here after the penalty they had earlier in this series. Try and get it in the end zone. But excellent play by the defense on that 1st down attempted reception.
Let's see what Sean Payton's got up his sleeve here. 2nd and goal at the 4. The running back is Ingram. The fullback is Arma. Simeon. And he was grabbed up high by Monty Rice. He got maybe as far as the 1 on the run by Ingram. With a gain of 3, hard-earned.
Hard-earned indeed.
Wow.
Man, you can hear, they're on the far side of the field from us, and you can hear this collision and contact all the way up in our booth. We thought this was going to be a physical game, and it's playing out that way.
And the clock continues to roll.
Which makes it even more critical for the Saints to come away with 6. Watch the size advantage up here.
3rd down goal. Simeon blocked by Ingram to the end zone and out of the end zone, although it was grabbed by Smith on the chalk again. And incomplete in 4th and goal. Back there was Molden.
Excellent job by Smith to come up with it again, but just like earlier in this drive, coming down out of bounds as the Saints are going to settle for a field goal attempt.
Sean Payton's going to go for 3.
Well, this does get it to a 1-possession game.
Yep.
It's just you're so, I know the temptation, right? You're so close.
But you've got a kicker who's missed 2 extra points. It's a 20-yard field goal for Brian Johnson. Little wind to deal with, and right through it goes. 3 more on there for the Saints. A catch and run of 34 by Ingram sets up the 20-yard field goal.
When you spend all year serving others, when you lead by example.
Amazon Alexa. And by Ram Trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row.
Talked all afternoon how the Saints defense has done a good job once the Titans had gotten deep in New Orleans territory. And what about with the defensive coordinator Shane Bowen in his 1st year as the defensive coordinator? It was a 1st and goal a couple times for the Saints, and the Titans make them settle for the field goal, and the ensuing kickoff is left in the end zone right there by Marcus Johnson to the 25 and a touchback. And stay tuned for the NFL Today update, time permitted. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from our CBS studios in New York. So the Titan defense does a good job, as they were facing some heavy duress moments ago.
Yeah, definitely. They had their backs up against the goal line and responded accordingly, holding them to that field goal. And as you mentioned, Shane Bowen's crew doing an excellent job.
Peterson in the backfield, 1st and 10 for Tannehill. Adrian Peterson Blocked by Jones, and he pushes the pile out to the 29, 30-yard line for a gain of about 5. Let's take you to New York. James and Coach.
Hey, Kevin, Jacksonville had trailed 17-0 in this.
Yeah, James Robinson takes us from 1 yard out and cuts the Indy lead to 20-17. It's been all Jacksonville in the second half.
That it has. Back to Kevin, Trent, and Melanie.
Robinson, one of the best rushers in the NFL.
How about Jacksonville coming on here the last couple weeks?
Yes.
Big upset win last week against the Buffalo Bills, and now taking the Colts to the wire.
Or this is when they would use Derrick Henry. Right now, Peterson 2nd and 5. Peterson here, good cut, another good cut, and look at him, corkscrew past the 35. Brought down by Tuttle, moves the chains, a nice burst of 6 and a first down for Tennessee.
Well, when we talked to the Saints, we said, what do you see from Adrian Peterson? He only had 21 yards on 10 carries against the Rams, and they said, yeah. But did you see the spin move he put on the Rams at the line of scrimmage to get some positive yards? Did you see the way he pushed the pile to get the touchdown? So they had a lot of respect for AP. They knew that he still had a little juice, and the fact that he's coming in fresh, right? This is the middle of the season for all of them, and this is just his second time, and you can see a little burst on that one, getting the first down.
Onyemata made the first hit on that first down run. AP first and 10. Oh, what a good stick by Quan Alexander. Came through, drives him back to the 31, and they lose about 5 on that play. He came through like a torpedo.
Alexander's gonna be lined up here, and he just comes right through. Excellent read on his part, a design pressure, and shoots right through that A-gap. Saffold couldn't even get a hand on it.
He was activated in late October from the IR. Former draft choice by the Buccaneers, a Pro Bowler, and Super Bowl participant with San Francisco, and traded to the Saints last year. Timeout just taken. New Orleans took it. 3:52 to go. 8-point game with a look at Sean Payton. 9 times in the playoffs, 7 division titles, a Super Bowl win back in 09. And today, working without Alvin Kamara. Tough, 2nd and 15. Peterson out of the backfield. That's batted down. I think Tuttle was the one to swat that ball and play handball, and he did. Knocked it away. Good. It's 3rd and 15 now for the Tennessee Titans. Good defensive play.
Yeah, excellent job by Tuttle. He realized he wasn't going to get there, and so he just was reading the eyes, and he's able to jump up, get a hand on it. Titans fortunate that that ball wasn't picked off. That hung in the air. As a quarterback, with that ball just hanging in the air, you're like, get down, get down, get down. And, man, it seems like forever as that ball's floating in the air.
My goodness. 3rd and 15. They need the 46. McNichols is the back. Tannehill 19 to 27 gives to McNichols, and a big stop, and that's by the 6-time Pro Bowler Cameron Jordan. No gain on the play. He stymies him at the 31, and here comes the punting unit for Tennessee, and the Saints defense does their job again.
Well, you could hear some of the disagreement with the call from the stands, but it actually is a good call because it forces the Saints to use up one of their remaining 2 timeouts. Listen, it was 3rd and 15. That's a hard down to get anyway, let alone going against a team that doesn't give up a lot of 3rd down conversions. So Saints, I like the call. Get the clock running and take that time out of the Saints' pocket.
Saints have taken a timeout, like you say. 1 left for them. This one, Sean Payton really begins to get those gears turning upstairs.
Well, as you mentioned it already, Kevin, 19 points they scored a week ago in the 4th quarter.
Redkern to punt. Harris is back. Lets it go out of bounds, and clock will be at 3:34 when Simeon and company take over. Coming up next, game 2 of our NFL on CBS doubleheader. Russell Wilson, his anticipated return for the Seahawks. Aaron Rodgers is back for Green Bay. Lambeau Field has been coated with snow. They had about 4 inches last night, I am told, where they're tailgating today. That's next It's Seattle and the Packers on CBS. Highest scoring fourth quarter team in pro football, the Saints, and here they go. It's 1st and 10. One timeout. Simeon bursts the block at the left tackle, and a nice catch downfield is made by Marquez Callaway. Leaping flag is thrown. Catch was made about the 44, 22-yard pickup. Byard with the hit. Markham, at the 49.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 31. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
The only thing I can think of here, Kevin, is that it's a helmet-to-helmet, but it's because Callaway has to turn around. Callaway, the ball's to the inside, so Callaway has to turn around to catch the ball, and as he sees the hit coming, he lowers his head, and yes, it's helmet-to-helmet, so that's the rule, but I don't think that was the intention of Byard to lower his head and make that, lead that with his helmet. It's
so Callaway makes
just the way it ended up.
First catch of the afternoon, 34 Tennessee. 1st and 10 for Trevor Simeon. Good time. Going deep, looking for Callaway, and incomplete with the coverage by Jack Rabbit Jenkins. Janoris Jack Rabbit Jenkins on the goal line, incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Well, I know what Simeon was trying there. He had a huge size advantage with Callaway on Jenkins, and maybe not double pump it so the safety can't get over there to help. But in this part of the field and this time of the game, need to try and make something happen.
Jenkins last season played for the Saints. 2nd and 10. It's off to Ingram. Ruiz with the block. Held on to for dear life that time by Naquan Jones. And slowed him up, and a gain of 6 and just inside the 30. Make him a gain to the 29-yard line of Tennessee.
Well, the Saints like to use screens, and this time they go to it again to Ingram, and
Simmons just hobbling off. Jeffrey Simmons hobbling off, and Murchison is just running to take his place on the Titan defensive line.
Goes without saying this is 2-down territory for the Saints. They've got 2 downs to pick this up.
3rd down for Ingram in the backfield. And he's got his receiver, Deontay Harris, who breaks a tackle and takes it down the sideline. Broke a tackle of Jackson. Out of bounds near the 12. Catch and run a 17, 1st down.
Well, I like the fact the Saints, there was a lot of criticism. They haven't used the wide receivers in the passing game very much. Michael Thomas out for the season because of injury. But Harris and Smith have had a big part in today's game. Between the two of them now, 11 catches for nearly 130 yards.
We're at the 2-minute warning. The Saints are on the move and down by 8 on CBS.
You know how...
Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL.
It's the 2-minute warning. New Orleans has got the ball. Red zone position, 12 of Tennessee. The Saints have missed 2 extra points today. That is looming large. 1st and 10. Ingram back there with Simeon. 18 of 32. Hurst to block at the left tackle. That is deflected. Another one in those passing lanes and knocked away. It may... Well, I'm not sure actually who it was.
Kevin, it's been a few years since I've been...
Danny? No, let's see. Oh, yeah, it was.
It's been a few years since I've been on the field, but as soon as that ball goes up in the air, I still catch myself holding my breath.
Of course you do.
It's just like, oh, man.
It's a quarterback's nightmare. Then the ball's fluttering and hanging in the air, right? You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
2nd and 10. Danny did get it. With a block inside by Throckmorton, a run by Ingram, and not much there. Jones and others stopping him for a gain of about 2, put him at the 9.
Well, you said it, Kevin. Adanian Jones to that side just collapsed things for Ingram. Nowhere to go. This is 4-down territory. You may be wondering, why isn't Tennessee using their timeouts? Well, they don't want to give the Saints too much time because they can still pick up a first down. They don't have to get into the end zone.
Taysom Hill is in. 3rd and 8. Outside they go here. Caught by Harris and inside the 5 and close to a first. Jenkins was there and Jackson there and a gain of 7.
Wonder if this isn't going to be illegal formation or illegal procedure.
With the flag.
Illegal shift. 2-minute movement at the snap. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Well, that was the Saints just trying to get up to the line and get the ball snapped quickly. The problem is you have to be set for a full second. So initially, watch to the top of your screen. They're trying to get lined up. It's Ingram and Taysom Hill, and that last adjustment right before the ball was snapped, they weren't set for a full second. So that's what drew the flag.
Taysom Hill, bottom of your screen, 3rd and 13. Simeon, and caught for the touchdown! Callaway! What a throw by Simeon! 15-yard strike and a 2-point game with 1:16 to go.
Callaway's going to be to the inside. Taysom Hill comes down and does a little rub, and that's what they take advantage of. That rub route. That ball's a little bit underthrown, but the defender's never able to turn around.
Jackson.
And Callaway comes back and is able to get it, as this is obviously a key two-point conversion.
Right, the Saints have missed their last 7 2-point conversions going back to 2018. That's Drew Brees territory. Taysom Hill will be the QB.
3 tight ends and an extra offensive lineman in the game.
Yes. And a quick timeout, the first taken by Tennessee. They've got 2. Saints have 1, trying for 2 to tie. Now here is the reason why they got to go for this, because of 1 extra point missed right here after an 11-yard touchdown pass, and another one by the 4th different kicker the Saints have had on a 13-yard touchdown run by Ingram.
And Kevin, they both looked identical. It looked like when the ball came off the foot, it's going right down the middle, and then about halfway there, it just takes a strong left turn and goes wide left.
By the way, Johnson came off the Chicago practice squad and signed by the Saints and was pretty good up until today. So Taysom Hill will be the quarterback. They're going for 2 in the tie. They haven't made a 2-point conversion since 2018. Now, a penalty on the Saints.
False start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Still play the try.
It's on the tight end, Troutman.
Oh, and he knew it, too. He stayed in his stance while everybody else got up.
Now they're going to bring Simeon back in, and Hill will stay in the game. Now they're going to go for 2 from the 7. Simeon will be the quarterback. Hill is in the slot.
Here's Callaway on Jenkins again, just from a size advantage standpoint.
And it is incomplete. Going for Ingram. They can't convert the 2 points. And Tennessee holds on to a 2-point lead with 1:16 to go. And the Troutman penalty, huge, clearly. It was close. Jackrabbit Jenkins almost had the pick, and Jayon Brown, the linebacker, was watching the talented Ingram.
Well, and I think Ingram wasn't expecting the ball because the way the coverage was, and he saw Jackrabbit coming up towards him and said, wait a second, he's flying up here like the ball's coming my way. And
all right, now we're thinking onside kicks, and across the NFL this season, onside kick 4 have worked, 4 of 27. entering today, Week 10. And the last successful one by the Saints back to New Year's Day on 2017. So Johnson will try it. And caught right there by their wide receiver, Westbrook-Ikhine. He got it.
Well, that's ball game, Kevin.
It is.
Only one timeout left for the Saints.
Ikhine gets it on the kick by Johnson. Westbrook-Ikhine, who's out of Indiana and had a catch earlier today, comes up with it. And the Tennessee Titans are going to go to 8-2 and win their 6th consecutive game. If the Colts lose, Tennessee's going to have a 4-game lead in the South, and they've won the head-to-head. A loss, a second straight one for the Saints. They lost last week to Atlanta and lose today and go to 5-4.
Well, the Titans have had 5 games that they've one-score games, 5 one-score games, and they're now going to be 4-1 in those one-score games. And the Saints are going to have back-to-back tough losses after losing by 2 last week to Atlanta.
Indy, by the way, is up by 3 with a couple minutes to go. So 6 consecutive wins for Tennessee. They've won their 4th consecutive home game. They're 4-1 at home. They're the #1 seed in the AFC with a little bit of breathing space. Here's a team that began the season 2-2, and now they're 8-2. Derrick Henry has been lost at least for the foreseeable future. There is an outside chance he could come back. But how about their last 5 wins over playoff teams from last year? And now 6 consecutive wins. This is the first time Tennessee has won 6 in a row since 2008 in a single season.
And Kevin, this is the type of game that we thought we were going to have today. A very physical game that came down to the wire.
It had everything you wanted. NFL Today update is coming up next for Trent Green, Melanie Collins, Gene Steratore, Kevin Harlan saying good afternoon from Nashville. We'll go to James after this.